Hey, hi, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going through everything I made in July. July was probably one of the not least productive months for me, but the month that I've made the least, or at least finished the least of so far this year. And I think part of that is because I was making things for my market, and so some of them were bigger, but none of them were like, well, a few of them took a few days, but like they took a few days, and I was really focused on getting that stuff done. Whereas now that my market is over and I don't have any more on my list, I'm kind of making things for myself, which is fine. That's what I wanted to do in the beginning of the year with my goals, is to make more things for myself. However, a lot of those projects are very large. I'm thinking like sweaters and like things like that, which take more than 1 week to make. So upcoming like videos might be a little funky. I don't know if you would rather see vlogs without a finished object, but like a vlog of my week and just see what I get done, or if I should fill in the gaps in between with like other videos. Let me know down in the comments below what you would prefer. If you would prefer vlogs just kind of showing you my progress throughout the week, or fill in videos, and what exactly would you want to see in those, just because I'm not really sure, especially like for the next 2 months. I'm gonna be out in the field pretty much all week, every week, and so my time to knit and crochet has drastically dropped, especially in July. And so I think that's part of the reason why I just haven't made nearly as many things, is because I just haven't had the time. And that's okay. Like, that's fine. So this week, for my like monthly recap, I don't really have a lot to show you. I have like 2 finished objects for the month and a bunch of whips. So we'll start with the finished objects slash not spoilery items, and then we'll get to some spoilery items because a few of them I have videos in the works for. One of them you'll see next week, and then I don't know when you'll see the other one. Depends on whenever I get it done, or if you want a little like progress update in the meantime. It's just kind of what I've been up to this month. Not a ton of finished stuff, but a lot of work in progress things. I've done that once before, I think, where I didn't make a whole lot, so I showed you what else I was working on. I don't have like a ton of whips, at least not whips that I am focusing on. I have a few that are like not finished but not a priority, so I'm like not working on those now. These do have a priority ranking of my whips, but it also depends on my mood and where I am. So anyway, for finished objects, we have our pair of socks. We finished these in sock week 1. Here they are wonderful. They are the watermelon fruit socks by Premier. This is 1 full skein, plus a little bit. Here's my little leftover ball. I'm thinking, because I have one of every single fruit and vegetable themed socks, I'm thinking of saving all of these and then making like a scrappy fruit veggie basket socks. I think that could be fun. However, for now I need to actually knit up the socks. So these were sock number 1 from the fruit vegetable themed socks by Premier. They're nice. I like them actually a lot better than the other socks that I've actually knit for myself. I think that's mostly because of the material. Sometimes wool can get a little scratchy for me. I'm not like super sensitive, but every once in a while I'll be like, I'm not a big fan of that, you know. Whereas this is a this is an acrylic and I think some kind of nylon blend, PBT. That might be totally incorrect. Yeah, it's just a different sock base that I've very much enjoyed. It's a lot softer, but it still makes them machine washable. Oh my gosh, my cat's fur is literally all over these. So it just makes them super soft, but still machine washable. I will say the fit, I also do enjoy. This is using the Turkish heel. I use the Fruit Socks pattern on the Premier website. It has a Turkish heel, so a heel flap but no gusset, but it still gives you a ton of room in here on the instep. I don't know if you can see. It gives you a ton of room, and so I'm a big fan. I will say the cuff, I am making it a lot longer, and I did have a good amount left over, so my next several socks, I'm doing 60 rows for the foot, and then I'm doing 30 plain stockinette rows plus 20 1x1 rib. And so that's been very helpful for keeping the sock upright, is what I'm hoping. I haven't actually finished the entire pair yet. You'll see in a moment. But yeah, because it's a tad shorter than I would have wanted. Plus, it kind of does slide down a little bit. So I'm hoping that that extra rib will give it just that extra little cinch. And then the like 5 extra rows that I've done on that sock rather than this sock, I'm hoping will be good. Because this was only, I want to say like 45 rows of stockinette and then 10 rows of ribbing. So 30 rows of stockinette plus 20 rows of ribbing is 5 extra rows, but more proportion of ribbing. Does that make sense? Is that right? No, it was 35 rows of ribbing, 10 rows of, no, 35 rows of stockinette, 10 rows of ribbing to equal 45, whereas my new sock equals 50 rows with 10 rows of ribbing, no, 20 rows of ribbing. Oh my gosh. I'm filming super early in the morning, so my brain hasn't quite woken up yet. I'm so sorry. I promise we'll get there. Okay. 35 rows of stockinette, 10 rows of ribbing. My new one, 30 rows of stockinette, 50 rows of 30 rows of stockinette, 20 rows of ribbing to equal 50, whereas this only equals 45 with less ribbing. Do we got it? Do I have it? Does my brain function yet? Anyway, I still really love these socks. I've worn them at least twice at this point, and I finished them 2 weeks ago, maybe. I will say I'm not wearing them out in the field. One, because they will get absolutely destroyed and dirty, and I don't want that to happen because I really like these socks. So I've been wearing them not during the field, which is not a lot of my time. Yay! First project officially done is my fruit socks. They're watermelon, obviously. I don't know if you can tell. I want to talk about the other thing that I finished this month, and that was another pickle. However, it is not with me, it is gone. I got a custom order for a pickle. If you don't know, I have custom orders. I have emotional support pickles, I have bucket hats, I have several different crop tops, perfect for the summer. So if you are looking to get one of those, you should check out my Ko-Fi down below in the description. I have my prices set low, so if you want something cheap, you should get a custom order. Also, shipping, $4. Only $4. So you should check out down there. Anyway, that was a little weird. I don't know why I did that. I'm in a weird mood apparently this morning. I'm like trying to keep myself awake, I guess, because it's so early. But anyway, in order to do the pickle, I did have to buy more yarn, because if you don't know, I used every single bit of the pickle yarn that I had. And so I did have to buy more yarn. So it took me a little bit to actually be able to like make it, because Premier was having the like big summer blowout sale, and it took them like 2 weeks to just like package my order, which I understand. You probably had many orders. However, I was a little bit concerned because I said 3 weeks so that I would have like a week for shipping and then 2 weeks to make it, where instead I had like 3 days to make it. Anyways, I had to buy this huge cone of green. So please order pickles, basically. No, I also have 3 other custom orders for pickles. However, they are for my fiance's family, they have requested pickles, so I need to make at least 3 more out of this cone. And if you also want a pickle, you can also be part of this cone. I had to buy a lot more yarn. I was thinking of doing like the Hobie one that I did last time. However, I don't know if you've all been on the like what exactly is happening with Hobie, and I just didn't want to deal with that. Plus, I really like Premiere. Like, I've ordered from them a few times now, and I've really liked their stuff. Plus the big summer blowout sale, so I bought a bunch of other like skeins. Let me know if you want me to talk you through what all I've bought this year as far as yarn. I told myself not to buy any more yarn, and I've done absolutely horribly with that. My shelves still packed full. At least it's with newer stuff though, so it's not like the same stuff that I've had in my stash for years. I have made a good dent in that. There is still some stuff that I would like to work through. However, a lot of my yarn has been circulating, so that I feel really good about. Anyway, so it wasn't just this that I ordered. I ordered a bunch of other like wooler yarns for myself and also some other like Christmas presents because I'm planning on knitting a bunch of Christmas presents this year again. So I also bought yarn for that. It was 50% off. How can you say no? You know? Anyway, this big cone cost me like $12 or something, which is a huge good deal. Like, that's an amazing deal. So I'll be making many, many pickles probably for the rest of my life with this. I made 1 pickle. And those are my 2 finished objects for this month. Wow. So productive. I'm gonna be honest, it doesn't feel great to only have 2 like finished items for an entire month. That is not very typical for me. Typically I will like have like a bigger project in the works and then smaller projects in the meantime, especially whenever I want to like travel somewhere. I'll bring a smaller project, especially whenever I'm going to class. I don't want this huge object that I'm trying to work on while I'm also trying to focus in class. Or if it like takes a lot of brain power, I'm not gonna bring it to class. So typically I have like a big project for home and a small project to bring with me places, and I just haven't been able to bring it with me other than in the field, but then I'm in my hotel room, so then I'll bring a bigger project anyways. So that doesn't feel great to only have those 2 items. However, I have 3 whips that I've been like working on throughout the month, and I feel like I've made a pretty good dent in some of them. Some of them look bigger than what I've actually been doing this month. Okay. First though, we will start off with our sock. Can you guess it? Can you guess it? If you guessed banana, you would be correct. If you guess anything else, wrong. Here's my banana socks. My needles are actually still stuck inside my... I was knitting these while camping, okay? And so yeah. So here is my banana sock. It's the exact same for the foot and the heel. 60 rows on the foot and the Turkish heel, except this time we only have 30 rows for stockinette and 20 rows for ribbing, so it does cinch it in a lot more, so I'm hoping that will stay up on my foot. I am still attached to my ball of yarn, however I'm cast off. I just need to cut off the end and stuff. Yeah, I love this. I absolutely love this, and I have plenty, hopefully. Let me weigh it real quick. My scale's literally right in front of my face. And I want you on grams. You should be at least 25 grams. 27.7 grams. So I have plenty to make my other sock, to make the pair. I'm hoping to get that done this month. This is kind of like my to-go project with me, although I haven't really been going a ton of places. So it's been slow going. And also, I didn't get my needles until recently, so I finally actually have my mini circulars. I missed my mini circulars. I'm gonna be so honest. I love these things, and so hopefully my next socks will go much faster. I also have all of the fruits and yolks yarn. Fruits and yolks yarn? What am I? Brain, turn on. I have all of the fruits and vegetable socks that I have ready to go, and so I would really like to make a lot of socks. If you get tired of seeing me make socks, I'm so sorry. I want to make all of them into socks. Granted, they will take me a while because there's like 20 something socks yarns in there, but I want to make a lot of socks. Sorry, you know? Yeah, I'm really excited to make these. I have like other sock yarns too in there. I think like 2 other ones that are like actually like wool. However, I want fruit and vegetable themed socks because I think that's really fun. And I can knit them myself. So I do need more socks though. Like my socks have been running out. So I'm happy to have new socks. And I can see that I made them, which is super fun. And also they're fruit and vegetable themed. So I love it. Yeah, that has been whip number 1. Fruit socks, 1 sock, done. I'm hoping to get the other one started today. That would be fun. I would really enjoy that. I meant to start it yesterday, and I did not. I did not start anything yesterday. I didn't knit at all yesterday. I was exhausted yesterday, actually. You'll see in next week's video. This is my Monday after next week's video. You'll understand next week. I have 2 more whips in progress. This one is here next to me. This is kind of my like back burner whip where it's like, oh, I'm tired and I don't really want to work on anything else. And this is the Back to Basics knit tee. It's a free knitting pattern from Lion Brand. And it's just a simple like stockinette tee with this like garter stitch ribbing on the like cuffs and stuff. And so I'm barely any progress of the way through it. I mean like this is the first panel and it's not at all a tee yet. So I have a long way to go. I am using the Hobie Tea Time. I got this yarn I think for Christmas, like their Black Friday sale last year, I think. So it's been in my stash for a good while and it's time to use it up. Yeah, it's taking up a lot of space. I have 2 huge cakes of it, so I'm ready for it to be out of my stash so I have room for the stuff that I've bought since. And yeah, I just love the way that the colors are working up. It's like not even a fade, it's just more like it almost looks scrappy, but it's not. You know what I mean? It's like intentional, but scrappy. It's like, I don't know how to describe it. I just love it so much. And like the colors aren't the same all the way throughout the like entire row most of the time. Depends on the color. But like, I don't know. There's something about it. I am really enjoying this. The one worry I might have is the fact that this is an acrylic blend. And if I'm gonna wear a tee, do I want it to be made out of acrylic? Like I'm a little bit afraid that it's gonna be a little warm. However, I am literally always cold, so I'm okay with a warm t-shirt so that I can be warm while still wearing a t-shirt. I love t-shirts. If you cannot tell, I always either wear t-shirts or sweaters, depending on the season. Once I'm done with my sweaters, I go right back to my t-shirts. And if it's still too cold, it's like cold enough where a t-shirt isn't enough, but it's not cold enough to wear a sweater, sweatshirt. I have other clothing that's like nice, and then sometimes I'll wear them, but comfort is just so much nicer. So I wear a lot of t-shirts. So I'm excited to have this as a t-shirt too. Obviously, not very far along. I started this, I think right after my market, which was like the first weekend, I think, of July. The second weekend of July. And I started this like right around then. So not a ton of progress, but it's also not my main priority. This is honestly like the last priority item for me. So the fact that I've made it this far is pretty good. The one gripe I have is this yarn twists so bad. I don't know if you can see that, but like I'm constantly having to untwist this yarn, which is so annoying. I tried it from the middle originally because I'm a center pole kind of person, and the twist was even worse than it is now. So then I shoved it back inside the skein. I don't know if you can see, that's what I worked on before. So I shoved it back inside and then started from the outside hoping that it would be better, and it's not. I mean, it is ever so slightly, but it's still twisting like crazy. So if you have any recommendations on how to get it to stop twisting, please, please, please let me know in the comments. It is driving me insane and making me not want to knit this, which is sad because I love the way it's turning out, but I just can't do it anymore. This twist is so annoying. It's like I'm constantly having to like hold up my yarn and let it like dangle and twist, and it's... Anyway, we have one more work in progress, and this, I do have a video going. However, it still might take me a little bit because this sweater, I started this, when did I start this? I started this back in February 18th. And I have not worked on it since probably around the same time. Oh no, April. I have not touched it since April until this month. It has been it was in my like abandoned whips, and I have resurrected it to be in my now whips. So I actually didn't do that much. Oops. I didn't do that much with it this month. However, I have done some things. And I am making a long sleeve. I don't know if I call it a sweater. It's made out of cotton, but a long sleeve, and it is very wrinkly. I'm so sorry. That's not any better. Okay. Anyway, I'm making this like long sleeve mesh, no, not a mesh, moss stitch shirt. And here's my progress so far. As you can see, I've done a lot. In between February and April, I had done the entire body and one sleeve. So far this month, I've done this much of the sleeve. It's really good, isn't it? I've made so much progress. I just recently resurrected this project, just so you know. So this hasn't been like a month long, all I've done is like 20 rows. No, this was like maybe a week's worth of work is in this sleeve. Granted, it's been like, I have only really worked on it while I was in the field, but while I'm in the field, most of my day is taken up by the field, so I've only really had like, I don't know, maybe like 6 hours to actually work on this. So, plus also the last few weeks I've been driving, so my like normal like drive in and out time has been slashed. This coming week though, I'm not driving anymore, so I can work in the car on the way down and up. I think that's another thing, that's right. This month I've been driving every single time that we've gone down, so that has severely impacted my time to knit and crochet. Because that's like, what, 5 hours every single week, so like 15 hours of my time that I had been working got slashed, so that makes me feel a little bit better. Anyway, this is kind of what I've been working on behind the scenes for months, apparently. This sleeve is all done. I'm using the moss stitch, which is like a single crochet chain, and then I have completely like tapered the sleeves from the very beginning. I've been decreasing every 4 rounds, and you can kind of see, no, you can definitely see where I've been decreasing, but it's kind of like under the armpit, so it shouldn't be like super noticeable. And yeah, I'm using Hobie Black Friday 4884 cotton. I have a bunch of this yarn. This specifically I bought to make this project. I knew exactly what I wanted to do with it whenever I bought it, so I have enough to make an entire like sweater-ish, but it's not quite a sweater because it's cotton. And that moss stitch, so I'm using a purple and a like sand color, and so up close you can really see like the difference in those colors, but then whenever you pull it away, it kind of just looks like grayish purple, and I find that so cool. Ta-da! I'm not following a pattern for this also. This is out of my own brain, so I'm very sorry if you want a pattern. I don't have one. This is my progress. On this, I have done like 20 rows. I was hoping to get the sleeve done last week. Whenever I was working on it, that did not happen. Hopefully on the car ride this week, I'll be able to make a ton of progress on this though, and hopefully my sleeve will be done, and I'll be done with the sleeve slug, as I call it, and then it will be just on the body, and then it'll be almost done, so yay! Those are my things that I've been working on this month. Sorry I don't have more finished objects for you like normal. I have a lot of hopes for August now that, you know, I'm kind of in this groove. And also the next, I think, 2 weekends are really packed, but then like later in August, it starts to free up a little bit. So hopefully things will be good for August. I'm hoping to at least finish 2 of these whips. Definitely the socks. I'm hoping this will also be done for August's video. And hopefully another pair of socks. I'm gonna be honest, I want to knit so many socks. I'm sorry if you get bored of socks. I hopefully won't get bored of socks because I have so much sock yarn. Yeah, let me know again below down in the comments what you would want to see as far as videos go for every week. If you would rather a here's what I did this week vlog without necessarily a finished object, or if you would prefer like another video in the meantime to make up for that. And what exactly would you want to see? Would you want to see like all of the yarn that I've bought in this year whenever I said I was on a yarn buying ban, and how exactly has that gone? Or like I don't know, what else would you want to see? I feel like this month I've ended up having to use a lot of those ideas because I've been so busy. So like the Q&A video was easier for me, as I could do that in like a day or 2 rather than an entire week. And then same thing for the market vlog. That was a few days of my market. Let me know what you want to see in the meantime. I think that's all I have for you, so thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, make sure you like it, subscribe so that you don't miss any more of my future videos. It's free to do so. Hype apparently is a new thing here on YouTube, so if you haven't already, and I think I've heard it's just a mobile thing, like a thing for if you're on your phone. Should I know more about this since like I'm the one who's posting on this platform? I guess, but me and technology don't mix very well. I have no idea how my computer works. But if you want to hype it, that would be greatly appreciated as well. I make a lot of crochet vlogs, crochet challenge videos every once in a while, so if any of that sounds good to you, make sure you hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss out on those. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week.